There. How's that? Yay, Notacon. All right, let's really get this thing going, since I'm already running way over for you guys. First of all, again, thank you for coming to Notacon 9. We really appreciate you coming out. Hopefully this will be one of our better years. Obviously, we're having a little bit of a rough start with some of our network and some of our other stuff, but as always, we're hackers. We'll figure it out, and it'll be even better than ever by the time, by this time tomorrow, and certainly by a little later this afternoon. We did a few things differently this year, just to try to mix things up. In particular, we tried to identify our special interest areas a lot better. We brought back our hardware hacking village, since that worked out really well. Makers Alliance, the Cleveland hackerspace, is helping us out with that and bringing in some members to help volunteer, put together your badges, and talk about the badges in a minute. As well as the other projects you have. I saw people hacking function generators yesterday and working on other stuff. So that space is available. Even if you've never soldered before, never touched hardware, there are people there that will help you put your badge together, figure out how to do things semi-right, and get you up and running. Second, we have our A Game, Any Game workshop space is situated within the hackerspace area, and that's run by Chris Sanick here in the Cleveland Game Developers Group. His presentation is right after mine, I believe, correct? Yes. In this room, and he's going to talk about Game Maker Crash Course and kind of get the ball rolling on actually creating your own video game this weekend, if you want to, with a group of people here. Whatever skills you have, storytelling, drawing, modeling, audio, bring them together and try to make a game. And Chris will tell you all more about that in his presentation. We brought back the Pixel Jam Lounge and the Pixel Jam Demo Party. Who here does not know what a demo party is? Oh, gosh, that's refreshing. Well, we'll go over it. A demo party is basically what a HackerCon is in Europe. Instead of hacking computers and stuff like that, well, they do hack computers, but they hack 3D graphics and audio. And the spirit is much the same. They don't do it for profit. They don't do it for, they do it because it's beautiful, and they do it for giveaway. Let's be honest. Hey, my group can create a better demo using tighter code than your group. Look how many polygons we can throw on the screen at the same time, or look at all these effects we can do that nobody's ever tried. Sitting in the Pixel Jam Lounge, you'll actually be able to see demos from other demo parties, including our previous ones, to see what the fuss is all about. This year, again, we opened up more competitions or compos to outside. And through the help of the Critical Artware Glitch artware crew, we actually already have about 5 or 6 entries all the way from Europe. So we have about 9 in total. Our response has been pretty huge so far. All the compos are in your book. Anybody can participate. Some of the best ones are actually made at the event. So some people start coding today, and we'll submit something by the end of the con to submit in the area. Along with that, the Dirty New Media Glitch Artware Dungeon Environment, run by Critical Artware Crew, will teach you how to glitch and create artware and basically make programs in art that might not seem like art to you, but involve a lot of deconstruction and tearing apart things that are normal to make it into something new, which is really in the spirit of what HackerCons are all about. We again have our Locksport Village. It has moved this year from upstairs to where the game room used to be last year in the Carnegie pre-function. It's the hardest space to get to. It's the farthest, but it's a great space. There's tons of tables. There's tons of lockpicks, lockboards. We have a great crew here in Cleveland that is heading it up. Steven Olin with Tool is actually going to be here. He's not going to be officially running anything, but he's going to be on hand, and I'm sure he'll offer his expertise towards getting things working and helping you learn. Also, I'm proud to announce that we have the Artemis Spaceship Bridge Simulator, a spaceship bridge simulator like the Star Trek Enterprise, set up in the Clark Room. And what this is a multiplayer game between 6 people, and they run a starship and tell a story. And part of his workshop today at 1 is actually developing that story, creating a game, and then publishing that game out so that all the other Artemis users across the world can play the game that you guys wrote, including recorded dialogue, models you develop, all kinds of other stuff. So that's a good opportunity too. As well, when they're done with that, the whole bridge is open for people to come on by and run a game. This is something to do with Gen Con, and they charge very high rates by the hour. The maker of the game, who's from Cleveland, is letting us have this for free, and also will be selling copies of the game, which I think is $40, and lets you play with 6 of your friends, and has absolutely no DRM. Yeah. So it's a really cool product, really cool project. We suggest you try it out. Have some fun with it. We also, again, have our amateur radio room located in Notacon, which is busy right now, trying to make sure our network works. Working on that as hard as we can. The hotel has kind of provided some problems in getting that happening. We also have a new game room this year. We're kind of not focusing on video games, but focusing on board games and tabletop games a little bit more. We have a friend of ours from Eagle and Griffin Games is actually going to be here. He has a whole bunch of games people can play and try out. And if you want to buy a copy of the game, take home, play with your friends, you can do that. So I'm glad we have him there. A couple other things. The badge. So we were originally working with the Open AMD project to put together a badge that did anonymous RFID tracking and stuff, so we can see who was in what rooms and traffic flows. That was going to be way too expensive for us. So one of the guys put together a completely different design based around the PIC-18 chip. Got this board together kind of at the last minute to get it to work. Overall, it does an okay job, except there are some problems, and we apologize. Like the voltage regulator pins are swapped and stuff, so you can blow up your battery in your hand. Also, one of the diodes is reversed on one of the designs. So we will be posting errata to the webpage, and the hardware hacking guys are fully aware of what needs to be done to make your badge work. When you put it together, get it working properly with the hardware, there is code that is preloaded that lets you plug it into your laptop via USB. And USB cables, of which I sell, and lets you, if you don't want to work any hardware from there and want to work on software, you can do that as well. There's a microphone built in, so if you want to do some audio monitoring, hopefully that works as well. By the end of Notacon, it's always nice to see what kind of things people have done for their badges. Last year, Luis put a Sega sound processing chip on his and had his being a chiptune driver. Which was interesting because he forgot room on the circuit board for his component, and so he decided that he'd do some emulation right in the Arduino and do some of the waveform generation there instead, which I thought was kind of cool. Seth Hardy, who designed the badge, turned his into a semi-autonomous robot, and people have done cool things. So I can't wait to see what you do and what you create. And finally, about the network, we're trying to get that set up. Once it is set up, we should have 50 megabits symmetric this year, which is about 10 times more, at least 10 times more than what we had last. So we should have tons of bandwidth. If you need any help from anybody, something is not going right, or you have a question, make sure you look for somebody with a staff shirt or a staff badge. If they can't help you, they are supposed to find somebody who will. And if they don't, find me or Tiger or somebody else, and we'll make sure that we solve the problem for you. We want everybody to have a really great Notacon. We worked really hard to make this happen, and for a lot of reasons it almost didn't happen this year because I had a lot of really serious medical issues for quite a number of months this year. But it's here. We have schedules printed. If you don't actually have the schedule, we're going to be posting schedules outside the wall. If you have an advanced badge and you did not get your 9 volts, please see Reg or Swag, and we'll get you your 9-volt batteries. I didn't want to throw them in the component kit because shorting out battery, just poor form. So if you need 9 volts, come talk to us. We have extras for sale if you need them at a pretty reasonable price. One other thing I did want to mention, we make a really big effort here now to kind of try to support local communities and try to keep stuff here made in the USA. Last year's badges were printed in China and shipped to us. I did a little research, and I found that there's a place in Cleveland that has actually been making PCBs for 27 years. And so I was actually all the badge boards you have were made no more than 5 miles from here with Americans and Clevelanders who need jobs. So, yeah, all the programs were printed in my hometown. All the T-shirts were printed literally 3 blocks away. So we try to keep it local, and we hope you do that in your own town too. Have a good time, everybody. If you have any questions, come on up here and see me, all right? Thanks so much.